Hi, I'm Tom Eck. I've been writing code for 30+ years in a variety of industries with a specific focus on financial services. Currently, my team and I build new digital products for Fiserv. I'm going to spend the next few minutes taking you on a tour of an exciting and award-winning developer tool that we recently launched named Developer Studio. In short, Dev Studio is a resource for developers to learn how to integrate to Fiserv's API products. I'll take you through its main features and describe the approach we took to rapidly build this site. Now, the motivation for building Dev Studio was to consolidate the many developer portals currently in use across Fiserv. We realized that we had a need to provide third-party developers with a single entry point to all of our developer documentation and related assets, for example, APIs and SDKs. We also wanted to have a common look and feel and user experience across the various API products that will be published in Dev Studio. We call these API products tenants, as they reside within the apartment complex of Dev Studio. Now, Dev Studio provides these tenants with shared facilities such as authentication, developer onboarding, and UI styling, much in the same way that an apartment building provides common services to its tenants. We like to write press releases for each milestone. They help keep us on course and convey to stakeholders what will be available and when. Here's the first press release for Dev Studio. Since we expect Dev Studio to accommodate dozens of tenants, we knew we needed to make discoverability a top priority. We don't want to overwhelm developers with a large collection of APIs, so we invested a lot of time developing a tagging mechanism plus several ways to search for content. Let me show you how that works. Dev Studio provides numerous ways for a developer to locate product documentation. The first and highest level method is based on the type of organization that the developer works for. If the organization is a merchant, then clicking on the Merchant tab will display the merchant-related products available in Dev Studio. Similarly, if the organization is an FI, clicking on the Financial Institutions tab will display all the FI-oriented products. Next, Dev Studio offers a very powerful full-text search capability. Let's say that we're developing a web app and we want to know how to perform an authorization. Let's execute that search. Wow, that's a lot of results. Now, to help the developer narrow down the results, we have a tagging mechanism that acts as a filter on search results and other aspects of Dev Studio. So let's refine the search results to only include card-not-present topics. Okay, that's better. If I know which product I need to integrate to, I can further refine my search results. Let's assume I'm working with Commerce Hub, our new API for powering enterprise merchants' omni-channel commerce. Here's the API endpoint I'm looking for. Another way to access an API of interest is through the All APIs interface. Let's leave the Commerce Hub filter enabled and look up some API endpoints that I might need to use today. Now that the developer has identified the API product that will satisfy her needs, it's time to dive deeper into that API. And this is where Dev Studio's Document and API Explorers come into play. Let me show you how those work. Sticking with the Commerce Hub example, let's navigate to the Commerce Hub product page. From here, we can view a high-level overview of the product, as well as check out some highlighted services that it offers. Cool, Apple Pay is supported. The product page also provides an embedded search feature that restricts results to just the current product. So we can quickly search for endpoints offered by Commerce Hub by using this dynamic search capability. Let's search again for the Commerce Hub cancel endpoint. Now let's follow the Try It Now link. This brings us to the Dev Studio API Explorer, where a developer can view an endpoint's URL, request and response payloads, and its return status codes. A really handy feature is the Run box over here on the right side of the API Explorer. The Run box allows the developer to view an endpoint's request and response payloads in a convenient JSON format. It also supports experimentation by allowing the developer to edit the request payload and visualize the results. Let's go ahead and run a sample cancel transaction now. Another feature of the Run box is the generation of code snippets in a variety of programming languages. We can easily select a language of interest from this dropdown. Finally, you'll also notice that the API Explorer supports API versioning, as well as the ability to conveniently download the entire API specification in Open API 3.0 format. As a complement to API Explorer, Dev Studio also features a Document Explorer for browsing product and API documentation. Let's say we need to perform a task related to dynamic descriptors, and we need to understand Commerce Hub's support for that functionality. We can navigate through the Doc Explorer and find that article. Here it is. You can see that the documentation in Dev Studio is very thorough. And you might notice those tags again. Also, all documentation is linked to endpoints in API Explorer and vice versa. This makes it easy to switch back and forth between written documentation and API specifications. Now, everything that I've shown you up to this point is accessible to any developer, regardless of whether they have registered with the site. But once a developer has registered, he will have access to many advanced capabilities of Dev Studio. Let's start with profile management. The profile area of Dev Studio allows a registered developer to manage her developer account, view notifications, set security questions, and enable site-wide filters that make navigation even easier. The first thing we see when we go to the profile section are the notifications. Here are the notifications that a developer receives immediately after registration. The developer can easily set security questions for use in the event she needs to reset her password. And finally, let's set up some filters that will be applied across the site and remembered each time the developer logs in. Notice how the filter is automatically applied in the All APIs interface, and in the global search as well. Dev Studio's developer dashboard is an area where developers will spend a lot of time. The dashboard allows the developer to manage credentials and integrations and will soon support real-time testing of API products. One of the most powerful aspects of Dev Studio is its support for developer self-service. In Dev Studio, self-service revolves around the developer dashboard. Currently, the dashboard supports managing API credentials and digital wallet certificates. Let's start with API credentials. Again, assume that I'm a developer integrating with Commerce Hub and I need credentials to access that API. I simply click the Create API Key button, select the product, select the merchant identifier, provide a name for the credentials, and then pick the features I'd like enabled. An API key and secret are generated for me instantly. Now I can use these credentials to access the Commerce Hub sandbox immediately. I also have the ability to revoke credentials at any time. Rotating API credentials is considered a good security practice. In the dashboard, I can also create and associate merchant identifiers with my developer account. We provide several options to create test merchant identifiers, as well as a secure workflow to associate production merchant IDs with the developer account. Now that we've taken a quick tour of Dev Studio, I'd like to share some details on how we built it. Dev Studio went from concept to its first release in less than 9 months. We accomplished this with 3 independent Scrum teams, each equipped with developers, testers, and product owners. The teams ranged in size from 4 to 6 members. We utilized the Agile Scrum methodology and held 2-week sprints, which means every 2 weeks we were ready to ship new functionality. And every sprint is a commitment by each team to deliver a specific set of functionality. At the end of each sprint, we conduct a playback where the teams describe the work they accomplished during the sprint, plus a demo of their working code. During playbacks, we invite all stakeholders, plus anyone who is just interested in what we're building, to join. Playbacks are a great opportunity to keep all the Scrum teams and stakeholders in sync. We also took advantage of extensive automation to test code, build the site, and deploy updates. And everything we do is scriptable, so our operations are highly repeatable and protect us from human error. We were able to move fast also because of the team itself. Not only are the team members highly experienced and skilled, they are also great people who enjoy working together. I hope you enjoyed the tour. I'll leave you with 3 takeaways. 1, I encourage you to experience Dev Studio for yourself at developer.fiserv.com. 2, create a developer account on Dev Studio and start coding to our APIs. And 3, if you're not using an Agile process, I suggest you take a look at Agile Scrum. Thank you for your time.